Okay, this will be timed and stamped. The reason I'm making this is for the past 2 days, Cassidy's asked me to ask Ivan to leave in his own way. He says he's eaten too much and so forth. I was concerned this morning to see Ivan wearing a part of jewellery which doesn't belong to him, and I was concerned after he was asked to leave, which Cassidy's told me to tell Ivan. He's saying that Cassidy's not well in the head. There have been some other issues, so I don't want to, I think a third person, my wife, who's been here for almost 2 weeks now, observing as a third person, she's just written some points down, because I'm just concerned that what Ivan might say while he's been here for the 2 weeks. Okay, I'll just, if you'd like to read that, but I'll just...
Oh, okay. I've just put down a few things because Alan and Cassidy asked Ivan to leave today.
Yeah, no, you just go ahead, and I'm just
okay.
filming, as you say.
Well, initially Ivan came in a car with some young people who'd been drinking. Cassidy calls them himbugs. They came to the place and left Ivan here. Ivan had his bag and a blanket and a shaver. Ivan didn't ask if he could stay.
He was never invited.
Yeah, he wasn't invited, but Alan, over the next few days, did get Cassidy...
I gave him $50.
To help him in the garden, and he gave him a gift of $50, as Ivan said he didn't have any money till Thursday, which is when his age pension came through. We had a few episodes with Humbug arriving at 12:30 a.m. when we were all asleep, and Ivan was sleeping outside.
Basically supposed to be guarding the place, don't let anyone in the house, because Cassidy wants the house fully locked, so he's protected.
But on a couple of occasions when we had people turn up that had been drinking, Ivan basically disappeared into the shadows and wasn't any kind of support for Alan, left Alan to get them off the property. Also, when Sammy turned up and spoke a lot of language to Cassidy and told Alan to take King Cassidy Uluru's name off of Facebook.
And was threatened.
And also told Alan to leave the place and threatened him in a number of ways. Ivan, afterwards, when I asked him what was Sammy saying in language, he just waved his hands around and didn't tell me. During that time that Sammy was there, he admitted that he was getting Cassidy put into an old people's home, and he also said that the cars Cassidy had given to them.
He also made references to hotel security.
Well,
anyway, you just keep going.
Okay, Alan, when he came across, when Cassidy asked him to come and live with him, Alan soon became aware that from people in the caravan park and people at Ulara that no one had been helping Cassidy. Certainly Sammy had not been calling on him regularly or taking him in to Ulara in the car, in one of the cars, and getting him shopping or anything like that, or cleaning his house.
I'd seen him once in 3 months. He turned up, shook my hand and left.
Whereas Alan, and Cassidy had forgotten his PIN number, so couldn't use his basic card, and the people at the caravan park were giving him food. So Sammy had not helped him with his basic card. Also, Alan discovered from his bank statement, his Commonwealth bank statement, that someone had his Commonwealth bank card because money was being taken from ATMs, including in Melbourne, where Cassidy had certainly not been. Amy, the manager of the ANZ Bank in Ulara, with Alan and Cassidy assisted in cancelling the Commonwealth card and getting a new PIN for his basic card. Now Cassidy and Alan and possibly some other person, a trustworthy person, need to go to Alice Springs and apply at the Commonwealth Bank for a new card for Cassidy. It seems Cassidy has a carer, but we're not quite sure what the situation is with Centrelink, because Centrelink have different details to his proof of identity card and his various other cards. The date of birth is different, which that information has been faxed through to Centrelink from the office out at the community. And so yes, they also need to go to Centrelink and clear that up. When Cassidy asked Alan to tell Ivan this morning,
several times over 3 days.
Yeah, he asked him several times, but this morning Alan made it clear that Cassidy wanted Ivan to leave. Today is the 28th, Thursday of March. Ivan had been staying almost 2 weeks and not contributed other than a few cigarettes, a little bit of gardening on the with
First
Alan,
and second day.
First and second day. He hadn't even, he went into town every day, bought food and drink for himself, but he never brought back even a loaf of bread or some milk. When Alan asked him to leave, he spoke in language to Cassidy, which made Cassidy quite anxious.
His hand started shaking.
When Cassidy gets anxious, one of his hands starts to shake. Then Ivan came up to me and he started saying that Cassidy wasn't right in the head.
He's told me the same thing.
And which I thought was just a pure disrespectful reaction, because he'd been asked to leave, because Cassidy says things and it doesn't seem relevant at the time, but then a few days later, we understand what he's saying because we don't speak language, and it turns out to be true.
Yeah.
Like he was saying, people were coming from the west to help, and a few days later some people arrived in the car, and they were respectful for Cassidy. Alan and Cassidy didn't have a phone, and they supplied a phone.
They've supplied the phone, and I've just cleared this one up. They set up the Facebook site. I didn't put Cassidy Uluru. They set it all up. We soon found out Cassidy could not use the phone. He gave it to me. I gave it back. I got stuck with it. I've tried to change the name Cassidy Uluru to Cassidy Uluru's nominated chaplain. I've been unable to do that at this point in time, but I'd just like to conclude fairly quickly that I've made this information available to the Chief of Security, Mr. Godfrey, that there was massive fraud here to do with Cassidy's funds being stolen. After the chief who told me he was the Chief of Security, attempted to get Cassidy to sign a document pertaining to that Cassidy threatened to kill a security guard, which he denied. This information has been alluded to the police and the banks now, and we've had no confirmation that his card's been cancelled at this point in time. Thank you very much for listening. Bye now.